In this video, we're going to have a little look at what I'm thinking of buying over the next weeks or months, how I'm looking at diversifying into ETFs and funds and trackers and that sort of thing. Let's check it out. Welcome to Destination Wealth. Any of you that have seen any previous videos, you know that I love investing in individual stocks, but it takes a lot of work and you've got to do a lot of homework, constantly monitor them, that sort of thing. You can do really well, but I've had some proper stinkers that if I look back at from when I first started investing, I know that if I'd have just stuck to ETFs and things like the S&P 500 trackers, FTSE 250 trackers, I'd have done so much better than I have done. So it's a bit of an eye-opener. I still going to keep investing in individual stocks and reinvesting the dividends into the ones I've got. Being 50 now, I want to diversify a bit more. And with the current massive drops in the S&P 500, things like Nvidia, Apple, they've got a bit ahead of themselves. And it was time for a correction. There's been a pretty big one. And I think now might be the right time to get in. None of this is investment advice. It's just my own personal plan, my idea of how I'm going to get to £1 million invested funds so I can retire nicely. I'm looking at two things, a ETF for the S&P 500 and the one I've looked at is VUSA. I'll bring up the screen for it here. It's a Vanguard low fee, 0.07%, I think it is, the fees on it. It's basically an S&P 500 ETF that pays a dividend, and I've wanted to get one of these for a while, but the S&P 500's just been going up and up and up, and it's like, when's it going to pull back? And it has done. I've been waiting for this pullback. As you can see here from this little chart, you can see that it's really grown. Now, what's better if we go to this main chart here? Then we can see the figures. So back in 2024, we're at a price of 78.30, and it came all the way up here to a top of 93.56. So it'd be great. There's a couple of little dips, so I could have got in, anywhere along here. But look at it now; it's dropped back down to 82. So this is a massive drop. And it's starting to wiggle about here. Now, whether it's going to drop any more, who knows? You look at a 3-year chart, and you can see that's a substantial drop, I should say, drop compared to what we've seen in the last 3 years. And even over a 5-year period, there's a couple of big ones here, but none of them look quite as big as this. So I think it's a good time to be looking at this. And this ETF, it's only got 1% dividend yield. But on this low, I think it's a good time to get in. I use a website called Stock Events to track things like dividends. It's a free site. You can't sign up for the paid one, but you can plug in all your stocks. You can plug in your watch lists, and it shows you it's just really good for tracking dividends. I find I've got my holdings on here, which is seen as a watch list, if you like. All the holdings on here. But what's quite good is if you click on the For You, it shows you what's coming up. That's kind of relevant. So you've got things like interest rate decision. James Fisher's got an earnings. That's a small stock I hold. It shows you the dates when things are happening. So we've got ex-dividend for Gore Street there. A dividend payment by Shell of £226. You have to plug in all your details, like how much you own of each stock, how much you paid per share, that sort of thing. And shows you the past events. What I tend to look at here is this dividend. So this is all my stocks that I've got plugged in. This is across my ISA and my SIP. If you click on this year, 2025, that is what I expect them all to pay me in dividends this year for 2025. It's never exact because they're kind of guessing on what those companies are planning on paying out. Sometimes they may not pay as much. Sometimes they might pay more. A few of them, like Games Workshop and B&M, people like that, sometimes pay special dividends, which is really nice. Which is like there. If you look at that B&M there's 3 payments, and B&M normally only pay twice a year, but these 3 payments are because they paid a special dividend or plan on paying a special dividend. So it's quite good for tracking this sort of thing. And you can see which ones pay quarterly, like Gore Street, Shell pay quarterly. Some of them only pay twice a year. Some pay twice a year with a special. It's just nice to track the dividends if you like that. I like tracking dividends. It's great having that money drop into your bank account every month, which I just reinvest back into the stocks that I've got. But what I also use this for is having a look at things that I'm planning on buying. Sometimes I don't buy stuff because they pay a dividend. I have got stocks that don't pay dividends, but I like to have a look to see when the dividend's coming up. If it's coming up soon, if it's going ex-dividend soon, and I'm thinking of buying it anyway, I might as well buy it now so I get the dividend that's coming up. Don't plan your investments on when dividends are paid. I'm not saying that, but if you're going to buy it anyway and you're just holding off thinking, oh, when shall I do it? And it's ex-dividend next week, you might as well buy it this week because you'll get paid that dividend. Whereas if you leave it till after that ex-dividend date, you don't get that dividend. So things like this Vanguard ETF, the light's going funny. That's Alexa for you. This Vanguard ETF, you can see it shows you the little stock chart. It's not the best for the stock charts, but there you go. It tells you when dividends come. So 21st of March, and what are we today? It's a perfect example. So this stock or this ETF goes ex-dividend on the 21st of March. So what that means is if you own the stock before that date, so if you bought it on the 20th of March, you'll get paid that dividend, which is paid on the 2nd of April. If I was thinking of buying this, maybe I shouldn't look at it like that, but if I was definitely going to buy it anyway, I think, well, I've got a few days left to buy this stock and I'll get that dividend payment. I'm going to buy it anyway, so I might as well do it now. But I like this. So this part here shows you the growth rate of the dividend. The 1 year is pretty irrelevant. It's not relevant, but not as important. It gets more important as you go further out. You can see over a 3-year period, this ETF has increased their dividend by 7.34% on average. Over 5 years, it's 6.2. Over 10 years, it's 6.27. That's fantastic. It means, yeah, it's only a one. What was it? It was only a 1.04% dividend, but that's increasing all the time. It's just a nice bit to come into your account. That just gets reinvested, buys you more of that stock. Combined with the capital appreciation that should be coming out of this ETF when this bounces back from this huge drop, I think this is going to be a great little investment. It falls into my plan of diversifying as I get older into less risky investments. Stock market's still risky. You've only got to scroll out to this 10-year chart here and you can see this drop, but look at it over a 10-year period. The increase is massive. So the chances of that dropping right back down here are slim. It's not impossible, but it's slim. With this little drop that we've had, which I think is about 10% now, probably different from when this goes live. But there we go. So my next buy, not investment advice, just what I'm going to be doing, is probably going to be this VUSA. I'll be buying it in my ISA, my stocks and shares ISA with Interactive Investor, because I've got some funds to deploy in that one. Let me know, what ETFs are you buying? What sort of things are you buying if you're reaching that retirement age Are you still buying individual stocks? Are you buying diversified ETF funds like this? Are you buying the S&P 500? Are you buying the FTSE 250, FTSE 100? What are you buying? Let me know. I'll be interested to find out. If you want to see exactly how I received £1,500 in passive dividend income in just 1 month back in January, and the stocks that I owned that did that, how much I owned of each of those stocks, how much each one paid me, and how much I expect each one of those to pay me as long as I hold on to them for this financial year, this calendar year, then just check out this video next.